Hello MotoGP enthusiasts. Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Marc Márquez revealed he held an informal conversation with Honda about a possible 2027 return, but made clear his priority throughout negotiations was to secure a deal with Ducati. The seven-time champion said the Honda chat was exploratory and romantic in sentiment, yet his head and career plan pointed firmly towards staying with the Bologna factory. His comments provide rare insight into how riders balance nostalgia with pragmatism in the high-stakes world of MotoGP contracts. Yamaha has officially announced that Fabio Quartararo and Rins will leave the factory team at the end of the 2026 season, marking the end of a defining era for the Iwata manufacturer. Quartararo's departure closes an 8-year chapter that delivered Yamaha's last world title, while Rins' exit underscores the brand's need to reset both its rider lineup and technical direction as it prepares the new M1 V4 for the 850cc MotoGP era beginning in 2027. Toprak Razgatlioglu described a promising start at Assen undone by unexpected vibrations, chatter, that appeared on the left side of his Pramac Yamaha and ruined his chance of a top 1-0 finish. He rode strongly early, chose the medium rear tire, and felt competitive in left-hand corners, but persistent chatter after the opening laps forced him to lose pace and positions. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Marquez described the exchange with Honda as informal rather than a formal negotiation, saying he wanted to hear Ducati's position first. He acknowledged the emotional appeal of returning to the marque where he won 6 world titles, calling a Honda comeback very romantic, but stressed he deliberately weighed sentiment against practical considerations. The conversation was more about maintaining respect and keeping communication open than about serious intent to switch. There was an informal conversation, but I knew for sure that I wanted to hear from Ducati first. Riders often keep lines open with former teams. Marquez's transparency removes speculation about a late-stage switch and shows he was never distracted from Ducati's project. Marquez explained that, despite nostalgia for Honda, he chose Ducati because the fit felt right professionally and personally. He said talks with Ducati hit it off right away, and that he preferred to make decisions with his head rather than purely from the heart after his previous, difficult exit from HRC. The 2-year extension with Ducati offers continuity through the 2027 regulatory reset and aligns with his recovery and competitive goals. Ducati's current dominance, technical resources, and rider lineup with Pedro Acosta make it the most competitive environment for Marquez to chase further titles. Marquez debuted in MotoGP with Honda in 2013 and captured 6 of his 7 titles with the Japanese factory, becoming synonymous with the brand's golden era. Honda stood by him during his injury struggles in 2020, honoring his contract even as he missed races. However, as his physical condition improved, Honda's competitiveness declined, leaving Marquez frustrated and ultimately prompting his departure in 2023 with a year left on his deal. That history explains both the emotional pull of Honda and the pragmatic caution that guided his final decision to remain with Ducati. The tension between loyalty to a legacy brand and the need for a winning bike is a recurring theme in MotoGP history, seen with Rossi's Yamaha return and Lorenzo's Ducati gamble. By confirming Ducati as his priority, Marquez has given the factory a stable cornerstone during a pivotal transition to 850 cubic centimeters engines and a new tire supplier. His choice reduces uncertainty for Ducati's development program and signals to rivals that the factory will build around a proven champion rather than reopen a high-risk recruitment battle. For Honda, the informal contact shows respect and keeps future dialogue possible without immediate commitment, leaving the door open for a potential reunion later in his career. If I was happy, I wasn't going to get caught up in the back and forth of going here or there. Ducati's ability to secure Marquez early strengthens its hand in the rider market and reassures sponsors ahead of the regulatory reset. Marquez admitted that returning to Honda would have been romantic, but emphasized that he already takes enough risks on track. Off the bike, he prefers calculated decisions that maximize his chances of success. His move to Ducati in 2024, even foregoing a salary to ride a year-old bike with Gresini, proved that pragmatism can pay off. He regained form, stepped up to the factory team, and won the championship. The lesson, he said, is that sometimes the head must rule over the heart. Marquez's admission closes a chapter of speculation and frames his Ducati deal as a considered, strategic move rather than a default. The decision prioritizes competitive continuity and medical stability as he manages recovery and chases further success. For the paddock, the message is clear: Marquez values the right environment over nostalgia, and Ducati now has the rider continuity it needs heading into a major technical reset. Honda, meanwhile, remains part of his story, but for now it is a romantic possibility rather than a practical path. Yamaha's farewell was carefully worded, emphasizing gratitude and respect rather than disappointment. Managing director Paolo Pavizio highlighted the rider's contributions, portraying the departures as natural transitions rather than ruptures. This tone reflects Yamaha's intent to control the narrative, honoring past achievements while signaling readiness for a new phase. Quartararo's journey with Yamaha began in 2019, blossomed into his first MotoGP victory in 2020, and peaked with the 2021 World Championship, Yamaha's last title to date. His tally of 11 wins and 32 podiums cemented him as the face of Yamaha's modern era. Yet the decline in competitiveness of the M1, coupled with Quartararo's frustration, led to his decision to join Honda for 2027. Yamaha's farewell statement elevated him to legend status, acknowledging his role in shaping the brand's identity over nearly a decade. Rins arrived at Yamaha in 2024 after a devastating leg injury at Mugello in 2023. Despite flashes of resilience, he never fully recovered his pre-injury form. Yamaha praised his technical input and professionalism, noting his role in developing the YZR-M1 even when results lagged. His 3-year stint was defined less by podiums than by behind-the-scenes contributions to the bike's evolution. The departures cleared the way for Yamaha's pivot to the M1 V4, a radical redesign aligned with the 2027 regulations mandating 850 cubic centimeters engines and reduced aero. Reports confirm Yamaha has already secured contracts with Jorge Martin, the current championship leader, and Ai Ogura, fresh from his maiden MotoGP victory. This pairing represents both proven speed and youthful promise, chosen to spearhead Yamaha's technical reboot. Quartararo's move to Honda, Rins' exit, and Yamaha's recruitment from Aprilia reshaped the competitive landscape. Honda gains a marquee champion to rebuild its project, while Yamaha bets on Martin's consistency and Ogura's growth to revitalize its fortunes. The rider market reflects broader strategic maneuvers. Manufacturers are aligning talent with technical resets to maximize their chances in the 850cc era. Yamaha's confirmation of Quartararo and Rins leaving formalizes a strategic reset, a new rider lineup and a V4 M1 designed for the 2027 regulations. The challenge now lies in execution. Yamaha must integrate Martin and Ogura seamlessly, accelerate the V4's development, and restore competitiveness against Aprilia's current dominance and Ducati's depth. If the transition succeeds, Yamaha could re-emerge as a title contender in the new era. If it falters, the brand risks prolonging its decline. Either way, the departures of Quartararo and Rins mark the end of one chapter and the beginning of a bold, uncertain future. Razgatlioglu began well, gaining places through turn 5 and settling into a rhythm. Around lap 5 to 9 the bike began to chatter on the left side, especially on throttle application and corner exits. He tried different lines and settings on track, but the vibration persisted, costing him time and overtaking opportunities. I started very well. The first time, it didn't seem impossible to finish in the top 10, but I feel that this problem in the race ruined things for us. The chatter resembled a tire losing grip under drive, producing strong vibrations on exit. Toprak and other riders, Brad Binder reported similar sensations, noticed the phenomenon in specific corners, and it was most pronounced when the throttle was applied. The issue affected stability and confidence, making precise exits and late braking much harder. Chatter that appears only under drive can stem from tire behavior, suspension setup, or transient contact patch instability. Diagnosing it requires cross-checking tire data, suspension telemetry, and track surface interactions. Toprak ran the medium rear tire, which he felt allowed good early pace and manageable tire life. Before the chatter began, he believed he could have followed or overtaken riders like Fabio and Iwata, particularly on corner exits where he felt strong. Once the vibration started, tire management became secondary to simply controlling the bike. A tire that initially performs well can still trigger instability if the chassis setup or track conditions push it into an unstable operating window. Even with the problem, Toprak highlighted clear improvements: stronger left-hand corner speed, better mid-race lap times, and improved cornering and braking feel on the M1. He believes his adaptation to MotoGP machinery is progressing and that the medium tire suits his style when the bike behaves. "I feel much better than before, the bike works better. I feel the cornering and braking a bit better." Pramac and Yamaha need to replicate the chatter in testing and analyze telemetry from affected laps. Areas to check include rear tire carcass behavior, suspension damping and compliance, wheel balance, and any transient contact patch issues caused by track surface or tire temperature. Cross-referencing other riders' data who felt similar chatter will be crucial. Solving intermittent chatter often requires iterative tests under the same fuel, tire, and temperature windows to isolate the root cause. Toprak's Assen weekend was a mix of encouraging progress and a frustrating technical mystery. The positives, improved corner speed and competitive mid-race pace, suggest genuine adaptation to MotoGP machinery. If Pramac and Yamaha can identify and eliminate the vibration source, Toprak should convert his clear strengths into consistent top 1-0 finishes. If the chatter persists, it will remain a limiting factor on technical circuits where precise exits and stability are decisive. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!